Hey there fellas, welcome back to ULTRAKILL. Today we'll be tackling Act 2, starting off with a visit to Egypt, I mean the Greed Layer. This level introduces virtues, these flying spheres that will probably smite you if you aren't careful. I really like the aesthetics of this layer. The whole Egypt theme is pretty cool, especially with the huge pyramid in the background. Okay, what is that supposed to be? Wait a second, is that? Yep! Welcome to V1 May Cry. Now you can finally dual wield your revolver. Oh yeah, and every other weapon you have. Holy shit. This power trip sadly ends here because, well, the level is already over. Okay. Why did they... Oh, so that's why. This level, aside from reminding me that British people exist, introduces the concept of sanded enemies. If an enemy is covered in sand, they won't bleed, meaning you can't heal. However, you can rectify that by parrying their attacks, which still restores your health and also your stamina. This level introduces a new enemy type called the Stalker. Their main directive is to get close to another enemy and explode, covering their target in sand. If you see them, kill them as fast as possible before they sand other enemies. Fighting the boss of this level requires 2 skulls, both of them being locked behind combat encounters. They also brought the dual wield power up back, so don't mind if I do. Hey buddy, I think your head is missing, you should probably go see a doctor. Okay, I guess you didn't like that. The Insurrectionist might look somewhat dangerous at first, but once you know what it can do, it becomes one of the easier enemies in the game. However, after I'm done beating him, I'm still not entirely done with the level. Huh? Wait a second, is this Crash Bandicoot? Yep, it is. This level has everything that a traditional Crash game would have. Crates, funky physics, a funny death animation when you hit the sand, bad depth perception, a real classic, and a running from a massive boulder segment. However, just like in a Crash game, collecting all of the crates for a level is a chore that I really don't want to do again. Doing it once was pretty much enough for me. Ah yes, 4-3. Probably my least favorite level in this act. You need to carry this torch around to see in the dark, and you also needed to light these pedestals on fire, which are sometimes required in order to proceed. Close to the end you'll find a breakable wall with the Tomb of Kings behind it. If you then run back to the start of the level, drop the torch, go back to the tomb, get the skull and place it here, you will initiate a secret boss fight against Mandalore Gaming. He has a total of 2 different attacks.
Full auto. 4 auto.
After defeating him, you can read this tablet talking about a secret passage in the Great Pyramid, which you will be heading to later. Heading over to the final room, I place the skull I found, because I didn't really feel like grabbing the torch again, and fight my way through the onslaught of enemies. Now we're inside the pyramid. If you head over here and grab the skull, which you would only be able to do after you beat this level at least once, you can enter this room, shoot the pool of water with the electric rail cannon, and this door will open. Inside you'll find the decapitated corpse of King Sisyphus, as well as the saw blade launcher, an alternate version of the nail gun. There the Soleil. Sounds kinda familiar if you ask me. Wait a sec, is that? Yep, it's him. That's right, boyos, V2 is back, and this time he's mad. In addition to all of his old moves, he now has the nail gun and... Oh no, he's got the marksman now. Now he can shoot his own coins. Oh yeah, and yours too, by the way. I knew that fucker was a communist. If you're feeling really funny, how about you try punching V2 with his own arm? Trust me, it's going to be a fun experience. After the first health bar is down, he runs towards the corner of the room, breaks the wall and tries to escape the fight. However, he is still alive, so naturally we follow him, because this time he's not getting away. And that marks the end of V2. He is finally dead. After ransacking the corpse, you get the Whiplash, an arm extension that you can trigger by pressing the R key. It allows you to pull yourself towards anchor points and heavy enemies while pulling light enemies right to you. It can also be used to grab items if you really want to do that. But with that, the greed layer is done and dealt with, and we move on to the next layer. Wrath. After navigating through a small cave section, we reach this pool. To progress, you need 3 skulls, which are all obtainable through one of these doors. After placing them all, you head up this shaft and enter the final few rooms of the level. Here, you'll be introduced to the sentries, pretty tanky machines with excellent aim. If they're close to shooting you, try to find some cover, because when they hit, trust me, it will hurt. Going back down the shaft, you can find this vent which leads to another secret level. This one, as the theming of the layer suggests, is about fishing. The next level has you platform over the ocean on smaller platforms. It also introduces idols, a passive enemy type that is immune to everything except punching or a knuckle blaster explosion. They will target other enemies and make them completely invulnerable, meaning that you will need to destroy the idol first in order to kill the enemy. Towards the end, you will need to collect 2 skulls in order to spawn a ship and then a walkway to access that ship. Once you got both skulls and you're on the ship, you will fight against the ferryman, a pretty tough enemy considering how fast he is. However, you can't beat the level without fighting him at all. Just pull up next to him, whip out the marksman and give him some spare change. After that, he'll just let you leave the level. But aside from that, this level also has a secret. If you manage to reach the top of the ship, you will find a... Wait a second, what's this version called? Oh right, a hamster. If you then escort him to the start of the level, learn how to rocket ride, and then climb all the way up this tower, you will find this dude demanding a sacrifice. Placing the hamster will free the guy, only for him to then crash your game. Well, thanks I guess. Welcome to the ship level. I have turned off my reshade in hopes of seeing a little bit better. This level is another gauntlet of former enemies, which I quickly make work of with the new weapons. Because during the recording process an update was released that gave every weapon that didn't already have one a red version. These include the sawed-on shotgun, the jumpstart nail gun, and another weapon that I'll mention in a bit. Proceeding further, you'll find the rocket launcher. And then the ship flips. The rest of the level is a tutorial for the rocket launcher. Enemies only get damaged if they get hit directly. Shooting right next to them will launch them into the air, and then hitting them mid-air will cause a really big red explosion. The regular rocket launcher allows you to freeze your rockets mid-air by right-clicking. Like this, you can also jump on the rockets, unfreeze them, and then fly on them for a little bit. Then there is the new version, the fire starter, which allows you to spray oil on enemies or surfaces and then light set enemies or surfaces on fire. However, if you light up a surface, it doesn't just deal damage to enemies, it also deals damage to you, so be careful with that. After the level is over, we head on to the boss of this layer, the Leviathan. Yeah, don't really got anything to say here, it's a little bit too easy, so let's just move on. We have reached the last few levels of this act. 6-1 starts off with microwave OST, only to bring some actual music once the real level starts. While it is a lot harder than 3-1, I personally prefer this one as a gauntlet type level. Towards the end, we even hear an old friend again.
Machine, I know you're here. I can smell the insolent stench of your blood-stained hands. I await you down below. Come to me.
And it's Hideo Kojima again. Fantastic.
With gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. As to you, you've taken everything from me, machine, and now all that remains is perfect hatred. Machine, I will cut you down, break you apart, splay the gore of your profane form across the stars. I will grind you down until the very spots cry for mercy. My hands shall relish, ending you here and now!
This fight against Gabriel is way harder than the first one. He ditches his spectral weapons for some actual swords, and damn do they hurt. Aside from his high damage output, Gabe is extremely fast when he's not taunting you. On the second phase, he even starts teleporting midway through his combos in order to catch you with your pants down. No, actually, scratch that, I don't think V1 has pants. However, with enough skill and patience, he eventually goes down.
Beaten by an object, twice! I've only known the taste of victory. This taste, is this my blood? I've never known such relief. I need some time to think. We will meet again, machine. May your woes be many. Your days few.
After the fight, Gabe heads to heaven, kills the council that's currently ruling there, and then heads back down to hell, waiting for the release of Act 3, because this game is still in early access. However, we're still not entirely done here. So, after P-ranking every level again, and this time I was actually contemplating if I should stop this, because the P-ranking process, especially for the RAF levels, was pretty annoying, you can find the door to P-2 and 6-2 very close to the boss room. This level is completely different to P-1. It is by far the hardest level that you can currently play. After the initial Weezer jump scare, a ferryman, and 2 virtues, you are properly introduced to P-2, Weight of the World. Right after the first combat encounter, you will immediately get slapped in the face with the second one. This one features schisms, sentries, and an idled mind flayer. Encounter number 3 takes place in this grand tunnel, featuring a Cerberus, a street cleaner, and that same mind flayer from before. After that, you reach the third hardest fight in the game, containing some fodder enemies, virtues, 2 swords machines, and a ferryman, as well as the second idled mind flayer. After everything is dead, you can finally kill those pesky assholes and get the blue skull. Now you need to backtrack to the second encounter, where you will now be greeted with 2 insurrectionists. After 2 tunnels, you reach the second hardest fight of the game. The first wave consists of some strays, 2 swords machines, a ferryman, and an idle stalker, which is the biggest middle finger that the game currently has in store for you. The second wave consists of an idle hideous mass, the same idle stalker from before, 4 sentries at each corner of the room, and later on 4 virtues. The Flash Panopticon is easier than the Flash Prison. You might think that that's a form of balance, seeing how hard the first half of this level was, but oh no, that's not the reason. The real reason is this.
This prison to hold me. A visitor. Indeed, I have slept long enough. The kingdom of heaven has long since forgotten my name, and I am eager to make them remember. However, the blood of Minos stains your hands, and I must admit, I'm curious about your skills, weapon. And so, before I tear down the cities and crush the armies of heaven, you shall do as an appetizer. Come forth, child of man, and die.
Sisyphus Prime is essentially Minos, but on crack. He deals way more damage, has way more attacks, and sometimes even moves faster than the Flash. Giving up here luckily doesn't mean that you'll need to beat the entire level again. There is a shortcut to the fight once you've reached it at least once. Defeating Sisyphus is currently the hardest thing to do in the game. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll probably get stressed and start hitting buttons like there's no tomorrow. You should try to take it slow like I learned to do at the end, and learn his attacks properly. If you do that and add a little bit of patience, or you're just a masochist, you can defeat him.
So concludes the life and times of King Sisyphus. A fitting end to an existence defined by futile struggle. Doomed from the very start. And I don't regret a second of
And that's it. Both P-2 and Act 2 are over. I'll be putting this series on hold for a while because the final act isn't out yet. After all, this game is still in early access. But with all of that said, have a good day and peace out.